It's no secret that meat production is a huge source of greenhouse gas emissions globally, especially beef. Many people choose vegetarian or vegan diets for a number of different reasons, whether it's for personal health, because it's more humane, or it actually helps the environment. The reality is, there's a ton of meat eaters out there, and that's not going to change. I've been waiting for years for somebody to crack the code and actually create a meat substitute that tastes like the real thing. Everyone knows Impossible and Beyond, two startups who are fighting to create the most meat-like meatless product, but they just don't hit the mark. There's just something about a real burger patty that these companies just can't reproduce. And we're not even talking about a steak. Being a human susceptible to blinky lights and advertisements, I've been seeing these things called Nuggs pop up on my Instagram feed and all over the internet, and I really wanted to try them out. You may have seen their absolutely meme-filled Instagram page or their non-traditional advertising. They lean heavily into this idea of being engineered. They don't try and hide behind some non-GMO or health food facade. Their company is actually called Simulate, as in a simulation of meat. And this isn't just an act, it's actually who they are. I emailed their customer service, and in response, they asked me to send them my favorite meme. Their homepage is filled with little bits, like a little quip that says that they're the Tesla of chicken, which really can be interpreted in a couple different ways. Like Tesla, who's trying to accelerate the world towards a greener future, but as a side effect has a really fun car to drive, Nuggs could help the environment and genuinely be a good snack at the same time. To be clear, this video is not sponsored or endorsed by Simulate. I bought these Nuggs with my own money, and they don't even know that I'm making this video. The golden standard for me for chicken nuggets is the McDonald's chicken nuggets. Yes, I've seen the pink slime video, and it's absolutely not a good food, but it's one of those things that's irreplaceable. When you're craving a McDonald's chicken nugget, you can't go to the grocery store and get some organic chicken tenders. It's just not going to do the trick. Everyone is going to have their own preferences. Some people have fond memories of those dino chicken nuggets from the grocery store. Others really actually truly love tofu nuggets. This review isn't for the vegetarians out there. This is for the meat eaters, the billions of them out there, who really do love their chicken nuggets, but want something that's more sustainable, can actually replace meat. It's a pet peeve of mine when companies like this send their products to vegetarians for review. You end up with quotes like, "I haven't eaten a nugget that's originated from a chicken in 14 years. Just look at this box. If you don't know what an actual chicken nugget tastes like, this product isn't for you. Don't get me wrong, vegetarians who are on the diet for humanitarian reasons, but still want the taste of meat, go for it, by all means. But every iteration of these meatless startups doesn't really need your feedback. It needs the feedback from people that actually eat meat every day, but want to change. I got a combo box of the regular and spicy Nuggs, and they came packed well with dry ice, and came through FedEx 2-day shipping. There was plenty of dry ice left in the box when it got here, and I really don't expect that you're going to have any problems with shipping in that area. At first glance, the Nuggs really just look and smell like a regular grocery store chicken nugget. If you take it out of the box and take a smell, then I think you'll really know what I mean. I can say with 100% confidence that if you just show this to somebody straight out of the box, or even when it's been cooked, they won't be able to tell the difference from a regular chicken nugget. The taste and the texture, though, is really what's important. I cooked these for 13 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit in my oven, just like the instructions say. And at first taste, it really just tastes like a chicken nugget. It's a bit anticlimactic, isn't it? They're not quite as salty or have as much of that umami flavor as something like a McDonald's chicken nugget, but I would say it's a little bit closer to what you might get from a grocery store nugget. And that is probably a good thing for a lot of people. Not everybody likes the overly salted processed type of nugget that you would get from a fast food restaurant. One really important thing is that it doesn't have any of that weird taste that you might get from something like Impossible or Beyond. That's one of my biggest issues with those types of foods, is they have this weird, indescribable taste to them that makes them taste like something that isn't meat. Fortunately, I'm not getting any of that kind of flavor here with the Nuggs. But if you look at the ingredients list, I think it's kind of clear why. You might have heard of the pronunciation test, where if you can't pronounce something on the ingredients list, you probably shouldn't eat it. It's kind of BS for a number of reasons, but if you actually look at the back of the box, you'll see that it's actually pretty simple. Coming from a meat eater, the Nuggs are pretty good. I would like the nuggets themselves to be a little bit meatier. Right now, the breading takes up a lot of space in the nugget, so it's kind of hard to actually get the texture of the meat itself. But if you actually dig in there and you separate the meat from that breading, I'm pretty impressed. It looks a little bit fluffier and spongier than it really is. That's another problem I've seen with artificial meat, especially chicken, is that you get these nuggets or these chicken patties that are fairly spongy and airy, but not in a good way. They're fairly artificial feeling. It may be that chicken substitutes tend to dry out as well, but I don't think that's quite as much of a problem here. Price-wise, they're not even that expensive. A box of 10 chicken nuggets is about $5 here, and it comes in a pack of 10. Nuggs, on the other hand, came out to about 44 cents a nugget, so $44 for the box of 100 nugs. But when you compare the cost to a generic grocery store frozen nugget, it's a completely different story. I can buy the same 4 pounds of chicken nuggets from a grocery store for about $12. That's about 3 times less than what I would pay for Nuggs. Vegetarians who are used to paying higher prices for meat substitutes might not be fazed, but there's still a little ways to go in order to make these more accessible for people everywhere. If you can look past the eccentric marketing, or maybe that's what drew you in the first place, then Nuggs are a genuinely good snack. The meat eater market, the billions of them out there, is a really important market to capture. As much as vegetarians and vegans want to bring people on board, it's just not going to happen unless there's an alternative out there that really tastes like meat. If you've ever seen any of my other videos, you might get a hint of why I'm so interested in companies like Simulate, Beyond, or Possible. Advancements in technology that help us lead cleaner lives should also be practical, just like how Tesla's cars were really the first practical electric cars to be daily drivers. I'm not sure how serious Simulate it was when they mentioned that they were the Tesla of chicken, but honestly, I can't really disagree with them. We're not going to be able to tackle huge issues like climate change without drastically altering our behavior, but humans are really stubborn creatures. So instead of forcing big changes like making everybody eat vegetarian diets, why not create something that looks, smells, feels, and most importantly tastes like real meat, and as a side effect, is better for the environment?